Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Firekeeper'S Daughter by Angeline Boulley. The novel centers on Danice Fontaine, who is an 18-year-old girl with a French mother and an Ojibwe father, and she often feels torn between two cultures. Danice Fontaine is torn between two worlds and her families, her white French Italian mother's side and her father's Ojibwe firekeeper side. Before the story even begins in Firekeeper's Daughter, Danice experienced major loss and grief. Her father died when she was 7 years old. Her uncle David died just a few months before the story begins, and her grandmother had a stroke shortly after Uncle David's death. Danice defers her upcoming enrollment at the University of Michigan to stay with her mother, who has taken both losing her brother and her mother's illness very hard. As the pages slowly introduce the characters, there is a sense about something bad in at play in this community. Danice's best friend Lily's ex-boyfriend is struggling with drugs. There is political unrest as the tribal election is underway, and it isn't completely clear yet what happened to Uncle David. According to Danice's grandma Pearl, bad things always happen to people in groups of three. That is, if one bad thing happens, definitely three more bad things will happen. Danice's brother Levi, the hockey god, asks her to befriend the new kid on the team, Jamie Johnson. Jamie and his uncle Ron have moved to town for Ron to fill Danice's uncle David's teaching position at the high school. As Danice becomes close to Jamie, she realizes that his story just doesn't add up. While Jamie has question after question for Danice about her life and family, he reveals very little about himself. One night, Lily's boyfriend kills her and then turns the gun on himself. Danice then finds out that Jamie is not a high school hockey star and transfer student, but instead a 22-year-old undercover cop who is part of an investigation into the meth being made and distributed by someone in Danice's community. Ron and Jamie confront Danice about picking up where her uncle David left off as the confidential informant, that is CI, in the investigation. Danice initially backs at the request, but then agrees once she realizes that she can truly help her community by doing so. Danice is a perfect candidate for this kind of work because she is a scientist, which means she is equipped to help the FBI figure out how someone is making this meth by practicing making the meth herself. Moreover, the FBI believes that whatever is making this batch of meth especially potent is coming from some traditional medicine. Danice is practiced in her culture and traditions thanks to her Aunt Teddy on her firekeeper side. As the investigation intensifies, Danice finds it difficult to see and understand what is true. What has come to light is that Jamie and Danice have real feelings for each other that developed while they were pretend dating to cover up the amount of time they were spending together during the investigation. When two of Danice's former teammates and friends who are also native, that is Rob and Heather, die with meth on them, Danice knows that they are overlooking something important. Danice waits many times for exactly what Ron and Jamie want her to do as an informant. But she knows her strength in this investigation is that she is not just keeping the FBI. Her real goal is to help her community. Danice's search for the truth about the meth leads her away from the FBI's ideas about hallucinogenic mushrooms being the added ingredient as she spends time with elders in a community and learns about the little people who have been known to warn people who are getting involved in things they shouldn't be. Danice also learns about bad medicine, like the medicine she suspects Travis added to the meth he was making. Danice eventually uncovers the truth. Her brother and his friends are making the meth and distributing it, along with a few parents in the hockey scene. Even the tribal judge, Livy's mother, plays a part by covering up the meth operation. She kidnaps Danice and Jamie in efforts to protect her son and their money making business, a scheme that leads to a police chase and Danice's hospitalization. While Danice grieves the betrayal of her brother and others in her community, she receives the gift of clear vision. That is, she actually sees people for who they truly are by the end of the novel. Dennis and Jamie part ways before Dennis gets out of the hospital for the injury she sustained during the kidnapping and subsequent chase, but they keep the possibility of being together someday open. 10 months after the ring bust, Dennis announces her decision to attend the University of Hawaii to study ethnobotany and traditional medicine, inspired by her elders and ancestors. Dennis fully believes that the way to exist in the now is keep an open door to the past. And here ends the story. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.